What is going on, guys? Ed Bandicoot 101 here, and welcome to my unboxing of the Geforce GTX 1060. And we're going to be comparing it quickly with the Geforce GTX 1080. James, my friend, has recently bought this card for a new PC he's building to go off to uni in, and I said I would help him build it. Now, James, while you're sat over there, can you look at the specs of the card? So after I've unboxed it, I can get rid of the specs quickly because I don't know them off the top of my head. I know it's got around 1500 CUDA cores, of course, based on Pascal architecture, 6GB of GDDR5 RAM. That's probably all the specs on off the top of my head. I think the core clock's slightly lower than the 1080 at about 1500 megahertz, but James can get the tech specs page up on his phone and shout them out in a minute. But in the meantime, let's bust this baby open and see what we are dealing with. Haven't even opened it yet. And obviously, as I've got my Founders Edition 1080 next to me, we can compare the two coolers and see how they compare to each other and what they look like. So first of all, I've got to get the sticky tape off, and that is quite a challenge when you are mentally handicapped like I am. Let's have a look. Here is the card in all of its glory. Right, so the box at the top is empty and it's just protecting the card. It's obviously in its anti-static wrap. In terms of accessories, we'll start off with, first of all, we have Welcome to Geforce GTX Gaming. Support guide, don't need it. Quick start guide, definitely don't need that. And then in here you have actually a surprisingly nice case badge to stick on your PC, which looks absolutely lovely. Nvidia Geforce GTX. Going to be sticking that on this system when we build it, I guess. Because it looks absolutely sick. And surprisingly, there is no driver disk, so it looks like Nvidia have got the message. We all just download the drivers off the website because they need updating every week anyway. So yeah, no driver disk, which I found quite interesting then actually. But I digress. Let's have a look at the rest of it. I can't get it back in the box. Oh well. Right, let's unpack the card. So the foam it sits in is actually very nice. It is soft foam, so it can take multiple hits in shipping, and means unlike styrofoam, after one hit it is not damaged and still provides protection, so nice and securely shipped. Now, I was expecting it to be much more of a plasticky shroud, but quite surprisingly, the shroud is rather nice. It feels quite metallic, so if we get it out, we can probably find out what material it is. Now, I have a feeling that the acrylic on it might be slightly more plasticky, but there is only one way to find out, and that is to get this baby out of the packaging. Actually, next to my reference 1080, doesn't look too bad. Let's have a look. So, as you can see, it has no backplate. We have the PCB ends here. It's a very short PCB. Obviously, it requires less technology on it, like the amount of RAM it needs. So the circuit board's a lot less complex. We have got a nice black flush bit at the back there. It looks like the backplate on the 1080. Requires one 6-pin power connector. Not sure about its total wattage. Wattage, James? Bottom of the spec sheet. How many watts does it draw? Obviously, it's stand about 140 watts or something. Maybe less than that. 120 watts, so obviously it draws some of the watts out of the PCIe slot which it plugs into and the rest out of the 6-pin, and that should provide ample overclocking because 120 watts is quite low, especially when you compare it with the GTX 1080, which I've got over here, which draws 180 watts, by around 200 with an overclock. So yeah, that's the cooler itself. As you can see, compared with the 1080, they look very similar. They've both got a blower style fan on them. The 1080 is a fair bit heavier, the fins are slightly clearer on the 1080. But other than that, the style is very similar. On the side, you also get the illuminated Geforce GTX logo, which you can have pulsating, breathing, flashing, whatever you'd like in their custom LED software. Although since the release of the Geforce Experience Beta in the last few months, they've actually disabled all the customization options. You can only have it on or off, which kind of sucks. But apparently, I contacted their customer support and they did inform me that they are releasing a standalone app for the LED customization. Still waiting on that, but in the meantime, it's nice to have an LED on it. Obviously, it's not RGB, it's green because green is the Nvidia colours. Very nice looking card. PCIe 3, 6GB of RAM. Clock speeds, James? How many CUDA cores and what are the clock speeds in megahertz?
CUDA core is 1,280.
1,280 CUDA cores.
Base clock is 1,506, but the boost clock is 1,708.
Wow, 1,708 boost clock. That is actually, I think, 1 megahertz faster than a 1080, so that's pretty interesting. Obviously, we're going to play around with the overclock anyway and see what it does, but in the meantime, this has been an unboxing of the GTX 1060 6GB version. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. If you get one of these, download the drivers off the internet. Don't use a disc if you get a disc with it, because a lot of manufacturers actually ship them with discs. But I'll see you guys very soon with another awesome vlog, gaming or tech video. If you want to see the benchmarks, stay tuned because they will be on my channel very soon, and I'll see you in the next one.